Peace and love, everyone. Dear community and friends, thanks. Peace. Thanks for waiting for me. Hey, Robert, Kristen, Ann, Pat, Nam. Good evening from Vietnam. Hello, Nam in Vietnam. Amy, Ellen, David, Candyman, Sean, Casey, Jen, Quiet Energy, Rebecca, Michelle. Welcome, everybody, and thanks for being here live. Appreciate it. Catch my breath for a sec. So welcome to Not Church. I guess I'm still calling it that. I'm Peter Panagore. The after effects of near-death experience are both delicious and difficult. Today was a difficult electronic day. Today, we'll continue our NDE. I'm going to move that down a little bit there, puffing into the mic a little. Today, we're going to continue our NDE series, starting our look at the common after effects of NDE, including an in-depth look over the coming weeks at the psychological, spiritual, physical, and social aspects. So here's a question for you. Where does your STE, your spiritually transformative experience, intersect with a near-death experience after effects? I think they do. And today we're going to cover ineffability, under psychology, ineffability, loss of fear of death, and more humane values. So we're talking about the effects of spiritual transformation. But first, this Wednesday and until next week, I'll be going to be away visiting my grandson for the first time. I'm so excited. So if you have a favorite meditation or Sunday episode for next Sunday that you'd like to see again, please email it to me by the end of the day today, August 4th. Thanks. I appreciate that. Apparently my teleprompter is not working well today either. So everything went kaflooey today. Everything was crazy. But I kept my calm. So anyway, the research in my NDE series is provided by IANDS, the International Association for Near-Death Studies, and it's found in their annual report on their website. IANDS is the world's premier scientific NDE and STE research group of brainy scientists. Check them out at IANDS.org. Our 2024 annual conference is in Phoenix, Arizona from August 29th to September 1st. And you may attend in person or by live stream. The theme is transformed. So this is perfect what we're talking about, how NDEs and STEs transform people and what those things are. Not just they do things to us and not just psychic things, but there's a whole host of other things that happen. So the theme is transformed, and you can find the information on the conference at conference.iands.org. So IANDS reports that near-death experiences are equal opportunity experiences. This is a quote. They occur equally to people of every demographic category, including people of all genders and every age, education level, belief system, economic status, race, nationality, and life experience. We are a substantial community that can nudge historical events if we have the collective will arising from our direct experience. And I realized that I had originally written down their direct quote, and then I modified it a little bit. So some of the stuff that you just heard isn't actually in their report. This is what I think, in combination to what their research shows. They occur equally to people in every demographic category, including people of all genders. I added that, and every age, educational level, belief system, economic status, race, nationality. I added those, and life experience. And I added this too. We are a substantial global community that can nudge historical events nationally if we have the collective will arising from our direct experiences, STEs and NDEs. This thing, these heavenly values and an earthly life, they change our perspective on everything, especially the way we interact with other people. Now, as you listen, please consider if your spiritually transformative experience, STE, or NDE share similar aftereffects to the ones that IANDS talks about here. If you're an NDEer, did you or do you experience these as they are reported by IANDS? I have a little commentary, but you're going to be able to figure it out for yourself. And if you had an STE, you be the judge. NDEers, you be the judge if these fit your life. And maybe you guys are going to chat about it or let me know in the comments if or if not. And at the top of the hour, we're going to discuss this in Mystic Tea Salon on Zoom. The link is in the description below. This is the exploration of consciousness, your consciousness. That's what we're talking about here in our interior practice. We are exploring our consciousness. This is know thyself, capital S, self. This is why we're here. So let's center in with 3 breaths, quieting our minds and opening to the sustaining energy of the beloved, living in the cavern of our hearts. Today, with a slow, controlled breath, fill your belly, pause, feel your belly, exhale, riding up your spine to your heart chakra, at the back of your heart, up to your heart chakra, feeling the center of your chest, pausing, inhaling into the belly, pausing into the heart again. 3 breaths, 3 breaths. Thanks for the prayers there, Roger. Appreciate it. Into the belly, pause, exhale, slow and controlled up your spine to your heart. Good morning, Sue, Temple, Martha, Linda, Michelle, Wanda, Peggy, KT, Roger. Thanks for the prayers. Mary and Holly. So the after effects of near-death experience come in 4 categories, and we're going to cover all of these over the coming weeks: psychological, spiritual, physical, and social. And I'll cover these categories and their particulars through my lens, as I said, in the coming weeks. And today we're going to begin with the psychological effects. And we're going to get through 3 of them. There are 14 of them. And we're going to get through 3 of them today. And we're going to move through them quickly. And I believe I mentioned them. They are ineffability, loss of fear of death, and we're going to linger. We're going to get through those quickly, the 1 and 2, ineffability and loss of fear of death. But we're going to linger a little bit at where NDE meets neighborliness, which is 3, more humane values. How you think about other people and how you behave with them, how we behave with them. So here are 3 of the categories, the psychological categories. The first one is ineffability. Near-death experience, NDE, cannot be adequately described in words. You've heard this a bazillion times. NDEs, it's unspeakable. You can't, no one can ever say it. No one in the history of humanity, religion, or mysticism in any culture can ever say what cannot be said, for which there are no words. The best we have, as I've said a bazillion times, we have metaphors and similes, symbols, parables, koans, and stories. The ineffable, it's unspeakable, yet it speaks for itself like a radiant glow of connection inside our hearts. When we're connecting with it, it's best for us. Well, you can use your chant and your mantra, but let that fall away, because it's best for us not to speak at all if we can. Let it speak for itself. Listen to it. Let it speak with a capital S without words. It brings joy, a joy that is different than happiness. It brings healing and wholeness and connectivity, not just this way, but this way as well. Loss of fear of death. Everybody knows this. The second I died, the second time, it was a joyous experience for me, not fearful. Because I know who I am, I know where I'm from, I know where I'm going to reconsummate with my beloved. This long distance relationship is going to end then, and I'll be back in the arms of my lover, the one who is myself, the creator above all, the supreme self. I'm going home to love, to reality, healing, wholeness, beauty, and bliss. And all of those words have capital letters because they do not say the unspeakable, to the best I have. But here we get to more humane values. Humane values are where ineffability and no fear of death become solid and touch the world. More humane values arising from my heart, coming directly from my first NDE. They shape the arc of my life. When I say I came back transformed, I mean that everything about me, even my value system, shifted. Humane values, which are prominent in NDEs, humane values guide human interactions and behaviors toward empathy, compassion, and respect for others. Empathy, compassion, and respect. These values are crucial for fostering a just and harmonious society. My values came back with me from heaven. My values are heavenly values. And so here, I'm going to describe 11 humane and heavenly values. And these are empathy, compassion, respect, integrity, justice, altruism, responsibility, tolerance, generosity, gratitude, and courage. We'll take each one in turn, just a little bit with each one. Empathy. Empathy is a spiritual ability to understand, experience, and share the feelings of others. You don't know where you begin and you don't know where they end. Hard to tell when you're feeling other people's feelings. A person can develop ways to manage that. I've learned mostly to manage mine, not completely, mostly. Empathy allows individuals to connect with others on an emotional level, fostering kindness, understanding, and support. It's fundamental. Empathy is fundamental in resolving conflicts and building strong relationships. Empathy leads to greater tolerance and reduces prejudice, encouraging people to look beyond superficial identities, superficial differences, to see the soul rather than just the skin or the gender or the nationality or the race. 2, compassion. Compassion involves recognizing the suffering of others and taking an action to alleviate it. Compassion, I feel compassion for you. This is wonderful, but is there a step I can take to help you, to help carry your burden? Compassion drives humanitarian efforts and promotes social welfare. Well, not welfare like we got to give them more money. That's part of it so often, but the well-being of the society welfare. Like in certain states in the United States, they're not actually states, they're commonwealths. the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, so-called state, the Commonwealth. It's the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth is our social life. Our social life, how we treat each other through compassion, creates our attention to the welfare of people. It motivates individuals and communities to assist those who need it. Compassionate action can help lead to significant social changes and improve the quality of life for vulnerable populations. In the Bible, they talked about widows and the orphans because they were the most vulnerable people in the population. Who are the vulnerable people in our population? Who we should respect, and that's number 3. Respect. Respect is the recognition of inherent worth and dignity of every individual. That's it. Respect is crucial in maintaining harmony and peace in societies. It's how we get along with people who aren't like us. We respect them. It's crucial. It involves acknowledging differences and valuing diverse perspectives, provided no harm is done. Respectful interactions reduce conflicts and discrimination, leading to more inclusive communities. Integrity. Integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles that arise from the heart in relationship to all of these other humanistic, humane values, heavenly values. Well, thank you, Temple, for the super chat. Thank you. Integrity is essential for trust building and ethical decision making. How can you have an honest conversation if someone's not being honest? Integrity matters for ethical decision making for societies. Integrity guides individuals to act consistently with their values. It's not something that when it arises in your heart, it's not like you have to make choices about these things. Well, you do on an individual basis, but the things themselves, integrity came back with me. It doesn't mean I'm perfect. It means I do my best. Because integrity fosters transparency and accountability in personal and professional relationships, which contributes to societal stability. Every organization I ever ran, the church, the nonprofit I ran, transparency and accountability, those 2 things for all of us, me included, especially me. 5, justice. Justice is the principle of fairness and the equitable distribution of resources and opportunities. You can imagine what injustice is. Justice ensures that everyone is treated fairly and that their rights are protected. It's the cornerstone of democratic societies. A just society minimalizes inequities and promotes social cohesion, allowing individuals to thrive without discrimination. 6, altruism. Altruism is the selfless concern for the well-being of others. Altruism encourages individuals to act for the benefit of others, often, and here's the hook, without expecting anything in return. It's not transactional. It's a key driver of volunteerism. Although, when you volunteer, you get a lot more back than you put in. It's a weird thing about it. You do get something back, but you don't expect it back. It's a key driver in volunteerism and charitable activities. Philanthropy is a great example. Altruistic behavior strengthens communities by fostering a sense of belonging and cooperation. It benefits the giver and the receiver. Responsibility. 7. Responsibility involves being accountable for one's actions and their consequences. It has to do with transparency. Accountable for one's actions and their consequences. I make mistakes all the time. I do my best to own up to that. Taking responsibility encourages individuals to make thoughtful decisions and consider the impact of their actions on others, either before you do it or after. Responsibility. Responsible behavior leads to more sustainable practices. Responsible to the environment, responsible to my garden, responsible to my friends and family. And it helps build a culture of reliability and trust. Neighborliness, that's what that is, reliability and trust. Number 8. Now, number 8 is a little tricky because this gets into some pretty deep things in our lives. Tolerance. Tolerance is the acceptance and respect for differences, including beliefs, cultures, and lifestyles. Tolerance promotes peaceful coexistence and reduces the likelihood of conflicts arising from misunderstandings. Societies that embrace tolerance are more likely to experience cohesiveness, cultural richness, and innovation, and a whole lot less repression, oppression, and a whole lot of other isms. Generosity. Generosity is the willingness to give resources, time, or assistance to others freely. Generosity fosters a spirit of sharing and cooperation, helping alleviate all sorts of poverty and supporting community development. It's equity. Generous actions create networks of support and strengthen social bonds. 10, gratitude. And we're coming to the end of the list here. Gratitude is the expression of appreciation for what one has and receives. We give gratitude to the divine, to source. Gratitude to other people enhances mental well-being and strengthens relationships by promoting positive emotions. Cultivating gratitude leads to a more optimistic outlook and greater life satisfaction, contributing to a more compassionate society. These are all interrelated because they all arise in the temple of the heart from the one light. And courage and trust. Courage and trust are the ability to act, the ability to choose, act, and do what is right. Ability to choose, do what is right, and act, however the order you want to put them in. When you know who you are and where you're from, these values will impact you, I think. Let me know if they do. Let me know if they do. Let me know if these are part of your world, your inner life, after your transformation happened. I want to know. These humane and heavenly values are interconnected and collectively contribute to the well-being of individuals and communities. By prioritizing these values, nudging society, we can nudge society by prioritizing, helping them prioritize these values. Societies can create environments that support personal growth, safety, spiritual development, mutual respect, and collective progress in all sorts of fields. Embracing these principles or being embraced by them, as is the case with people who have been impacted by STEs and NDEs. Let me know if they do impact you. I'm making an assumption there. They're essential for addressing global challenges. We're a global society. Are these our global values? We in the NDE community, that's really what I'm asking. Are these psychological changes, did you have them in your STE or NDE? And are these your values? Do they reflect your values? Which ones do and which ones don't? Which ones do we leave out? Because right now we're on this precipice. And now's the time to build a more equitable world. Don't you think? There's more of us than there's ever been before. We have the capacity to nudge our values into society just by talking about them, just by behaving with them. And we're going to pick up where we left off in 2 weeks And I'm going to be away next Sunday. So thanks for being here this morning. Appreciate it. Everybody who's here live and watching by recording. Thanks for participating. Your charity keeps our community and me financially alive. Thank you for the super chat today. That was really super wonderful. Thank you. But you can also give at peterpanagore.love, www.peterpanagore.love. There's a couple of different ways, a bunch of different ways. Your love keeps this channel and our community alive together. A big thank you to all those who have contributed and support for years and years and years. I'm here today because of you. So thank you. Thank you, us. Join us on Mondays and Wednesdays for live meditation, Tuesdays for Kriya Yoga, the Lightning Path. You can find links at peterpanagore.love. All right. I'm going to do an experiment today. I'm going to open up the Zoom meeting now and see, so that can be open as we begin, as I go about talking to you. Let's see, open that up right now. Mystic Tea Community, start. All right. It's open. The meeting's open. If you want to go over there, we're going to talk about it. Thanks, Rose, for the super chat there. Let's spend a couple minutes here looking in the chat. I know that somebody told me, a little birdie told me what they really appreciate is me talking to you, and I went on long today. Those values would transform the world. Yes, they would, Rose. I think so. Greetings from Glasgow. Hey, Maggie. NDE experiences are not just physical deaths of human self. And that's right. Exactly. Ascending Leo. It's a transformation of it totally. Hey, Brother Ed. Hey, Nicholas. Hi, Lynn. No email this morning. My fault, David. I don't know what happened. I'm struggling. Okay. These weeks I'm kind of struggling. I'm a little overwhelmed. And I thought I set it up correctly, but apparently I didn't set the timer. I thank you very much. Brother Ed sent me a text earlier and I couldn't look at it or an email because I was doing this live. But thank you. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know. What can I say? I struggle on. I keep struggling on. Everyone is alike. That's right, Casey. Yes, says Primary Feathers. Hello from the northern woods of Maine. Hey, Al. I hope you don't get those no-see-ums up there. We got them down here wicked. But it's been nice weather, hasn't it? It's been great. David, I didn't get one either. Sorry, Martha. I didn't get one either, Primary Feathers. Sorry about that. Totally agree with that. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Rose. And again, Temple, thanks for the super chat. If we can come from a place of kindness, for all sides evolved, there will be peace. Yeah, for all sides involved, there would be peace. 100% agree. 100%. The religion is Jesus. Yep, it did not affect me either. I just posted a reminder of Peter. For Peter. Thanks, brother. My STE made it much easier for me to see everyone as a beautiful soul. That's where all this comes from. You see the light inside of the other one, you can't help but adore it. I would also add kindness, a word that has been with me a while. Kindness, for sure. Would love to have that in print, being nice. I can put it in the email, and maybe I'll put it in the description too. I'll put it in the email. I'll put it in the email for sure. That'll go out on Monday. As a planet, we're undergoing profound transformational experience. We are, totally. We love and bless to everyone, but we found you. Thanks, Tom. Sorry about the email. What am I? Hang in there, Peter. We need you. Thanks, Temple. So if ever I do that, you can just go to my website, because the website is has a live link of every time I go live, it's on the website live. So thanks for being here. Thanks for finding me. Appreciate that. All right. I'll see you in a minute or two over at Zoom. The link is in the description. Peace and love, everybody. Thanks for your tolerance. Look at that. A heavenly value. Peace. Hi, Peggy. Ay.